wasn't for you, that was for me. Someone told me that when you put your arms above your head like that, it makes you feel more confident. It's like a power pose, one of those body language secrets. So I like to do that sometimes to warm myself up. But the problem is if I do it on stage, then you see my fupa, and then it kind of works in the reverse way. So, not as effective to do in public. So people are always telling me like I remind them of a guy from like that movie or the show, and they don't know like the show that I remind them of. Like this one time I was leaving the gym like 6 years ago. That's how you know it was a long time ago. And this guy was like, "Yo, you look like Twilight." And I was like, I look like the time right before dusk. That's strangely poetic. No, he was like, "No man, Edward from Twilight." And I was like, "Oh, you think I look like Robert Pattinson from the movie Twilight?" Yeah, I get that sometimes. And he was like, "Oh man, you gotta get on that, man. That's where the money is, yo." And I wasn't really sure what he meant. Like I should be an actor or I should be like a Robert Pattinson impersonator. But I'm pretty sure that these days even Robert Pattinson can't make money as Robert Pattinson.
Oh.
I know. Oh, poor rich, fucking handsome white guy. Yeah. So yeah, I come from a show family. You know, we take our TV show watching very seriously. My brother didn't talk to me once for 3 weeks because I watched an episode of Breaking Bad without him. I tried to do the same thing for House of Cards, and he turned into Frank Underwood. He was basically like, "Claire." He just calls me Claire sometimes, nothing to do with the show. "Claire, put down the clicker. Do you really want to find out what'll happen if you press play without me? I'd hate to have to murder my own brother." And I forgot how the rest of that's supposed to go. All right, so that was me doing Kevin Spacey, and here's a pic of Kevin Spacey doing me. No, I'm just kidding. He's a total bottom. Everyone knows that. Hollywood secrets. So if people don't tell me I remind them of something from a movie, or a guy from a movie, then they say I remind them of their friend. They're always like, "Oh, you remind me so much of my friend Scott." And then to them I say, "Oh, great. Is he single and maybe gay or easily persuadable? And what size shirt does he wear? And is he like wearing joggers? Because I could really use some new clothes." I just want to like date myself, you know, but just like a better version, just like slightly better. So I'm a little bit jealous all the time, keeping up my game. You know, I want to aspire, date someone who really lifts me up. You know, physically, someone who can lift me up. Throw me on the bed. People always think that they know me from somewhere, like they know me, and I just really hope one of them can tell me who I am because I don't know who I am. And I'm still trying to figure it out. When I was in preschool, I told my parents I wanted to be a ballerina, and they were surprised when I told them I was gay. I actually have this like natural turnout in my, like that's a ballerina thing I just did. I heard that's a ballerina thing. Maybe I'm like throwing my life away, not doing that. Business. I don't know. Now I'm basically grown up, and I still don't really know what I want to be when I'm grown now. I'm just really indecisive, you know, and I'm like procrastinator, so I just feel like I'll just save everything the last minute, you know, like I'm just gonna get it all done when I'm in my 80s. I'll just have a ton of work to do, pulling all-nighters, 80 to 85, just whatever, I don't know. Sometimes I'm so indecisive, like I've accidentally fasted for the entire day because I couldn't decide where to eat brunch, and then it was already dinner. Like, I'm so indecisive, I don't even know who I want to sleep with, you know? Because sometimes, I mostly like guys, see? But sometimes I also like girls, you see? No one's ever said that in that voice before. There aren't a lot of bisexual 50s gangsters that we know about. And actually, yeah, so I'm homo-flexible. Which is ironic, because I'm not a very flexible homo, as you saw when I tried to do my ballet move for you. But yeah, sometimes I still like to dabble in a lady's Scrabble. Really good at finding all that spot on the board that can give you multiple word scores. Really blow your mind, brainalingus. Think about it. You know, I think you can make anything sound more profound if you say the phrase, think about it afterwards. Like, the human race is a human race. Think about it. Here's another one. Puppies are just furry babies. Think about it. Or everyone's first language is body language. Yeah, we're out of time. I'll do one more thing for you guys. So I've been called a lazy gay Eeyore before, you know, and I was like, oh my God, how? I get it. I'm not very high energy usually. The high energy I ever am is when I'm watching Game of Thrones. Like, the most traditionally gay I become is when Khaleesi comes out and I'm like, yes, queen! Yes, Khaleesi! Slay, queen! You burn those masters with your dragon girl! Slay, Khaleesi! Slay! Yeah, because that's not my voice. But I just like, I don't know when like gay people started saying yes, queen, yes. But I'm really disappointed that it wasn't around when Freddie Mercury was still alive, because I feel like that would have been the perfect context. Because you could just be at a concert and be like, yes, queen! It's the perfect context. Thank you very much.